Hey everybody, this is Bhavan Singh, the creator of Raiderball and creator and head of the North American Raiderball Association. I just wanted to kind of make a couple of videos here explaining the game in conjunction with the videos coming out. Uh, we're gonna having some professional videos being made in regards to Raiderball. But I want to make a couple of different types of videos here, to kind of add to those explanations as well. So basically, this first video is going to explain the basics of Raiderball, how the game works, how to score. So you see, this is our field, not set to scale, obviously, but we have three infield players on each side, right? We have the let me just adjust my camera. We have the offense here. These are the Raiders. The offense are called the Raiders in Raider Ball, and we have the defense here. The defense, they're called the defenders. So three defenders, three Raiders, right? Each side has what we consider our version of a goal, uh, goalie, sorry, and then a goal, right? So two hoops on each side, circular hoops. They're like if the hoop is a concept we're still working on, but if you could think of like a basically a hoop on a pole, that's the style of hoop that we're gonna be playing this game on. The hoops. So this area here, this orange area here is called a raid zone, right? Or like an end zone, pretty much, right? And in the raid zone sits the raid killer. These two uh, characters here that I drew. Um, the raid killer's job is to protect the hoop and stop the raiders from making a point. So they're like a goalie, but they have extra responsibilities. Basically, it's a goalie on steroids in a sense, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So the Raiders have 30 sec. So the game starts, right? They have to have one leg in their raid zone to start the game. Now they can have different formations here, and that'll all depend on the strategy of the game. So I'll explain that as well in later videos. But the game starts where they strategize their play, right, in the raid zone before this. So they're strategizing. They get a certain amount of time to do that. We're still working on the timing of all that. But the game will start where they'll stand in their formation, one leg in their raid zone, one leg out, just kind of like this. These are the two legs here. And the game will start when the raid killer passes one of the raiders the ball. The raid killer passes the raiders the ball, and the 30 seconds start. They have 30 seconds to get from here past the defenders through this raid zone, past the raid killer, and score into the hoop. 30 seconds to do that. So, and they can pass the ball to each other in any way physically possible. So they can, they can pass it to each other, just like handoff. They can toss it, throw it to each other. They can kick it to each other, headbutt it to each other. I mean, they can use any part of their body to get the ball to each other, and to get downfield and into the other team's raid zone to score. Now the setup, the trick is, or not even the trick really, the catch here really is that only one of these raiders can enter the raid zone to score. So they would have to already have that part of their strategy, right? So, one strategy that we're working on for this game would be considered like a raid sprint, in a sense where, they the defenders are coming at them, they trick each other, they trick the defenders, they pass each other the ball, one of them zips right through while the other two use their bodies to kind of block a path for this raider to get through. So you could just think of that as one example, right? Let's say, let's see, I could probably redraw this guy. I'll redraw all of them actually. So, Bear with me here. Won't be as pretty, but we'll make it work. So they're running. The other two are using their bodies to kind of block a path, let's say. So, and this guy on this side. That's just one example. So they use their body to block the path. This raider has gone through. So now he enters the raid zone and he can score, right? But he has to get past the raid killer. The raid killer on the other team, right? The raid killer has three options. He could either physically come out and hold this raider down to run out the time. So let's say if there's like 10 seconds left on the clock when this raider gets into the raid zone, this raid killer can hold him down, physically hold him down, wrestle him down for 10 seconds. Run out the clock, then it's a turnover. This raid killer can physically grab this raider and toss them off sides, which would be behind this, right, out of the field. That kills the raid and is also a turnover. Or if they decide to do so, let's say they don't decide to do the first two options, they can stand back and try to block the shot. Those are the three options. Only one raider is allowed in the raid zone at any given time. But if, let's say, another strategy had worked where instead of blocking their folks, one raider gets in and the other one decides he cuts through his defender, makes his way down the field, then this guy can jump out and pass his buddy the ball and try to trick the raid killer as well while doing it. So now the raid killer is kind of a tricky situation where he's like, which guy do I look after? This guy's gonna jump out and pass the other one the ball, or is that a trick or what have you? There's a lot of different ways you can play this game. Is what I'm trying to say. It's fun. It's a fun strategic game, and each play, a 30-second play, is anything could go right. Defenders have to figure out what the raiders are doing. The raiders have to figure out how the defenders are gonna block them. So that's kind of the concept here. Defenders can't physically grab the raiders. These three defenders, right, in the purple, they can't physically grab hold of the raiders. That's a penalty. They can only use their bodies like basketball to kind of try to block them, right? And the same with these two guys. Nobody in this area can physically harm each other, touch each other, what have you, attack each other. That's a penalty, which I'll explain in the next video. They can try to take the ball out of the raider's hand. Whichever raider has it, they can try to take the ball out of their hand, or try to stand back, try to intercept the ball when raiders are passing to each other, what have you. So that's something that you want to understand, that only the raid killers can physically stop the raiders through the wrestling portion of the sport, as you call it, by either holding them down or throwing them off sides. The defenders and the raiders can't do that here. Now, the raider in the raid zone can also get physical, in the sense of if a raid killer is trying to tackle them down or wrestle them down. They have to have control of the ball, but they can use part of the body to try to hold the raid killer back physically to try to get the ball in. So yeah, a lot of physical action could happen in this side of the game. But yeah, that's kind of the explanation of the game. Again, I will have some more videos coming out later to explain it in more detail. But yeah, again, just action-packed game full of strategy. You got 30 seconds to get the ball from your end zone past these defenders into the other team's raid zone and toss it in the hoop and score, while also only one person can get in here and go against the raid killer. So that's the sport.